This movie made me question my own reality. One of the most depraved and disgusting films of all time. One that was so bad that not only critics lambast it and hate on it because of how offended they are by the grossness within the film, but a specific sequence within the film was banned globally, censored to shit. The forces of the world came together to say, this is a problem. That is what you get with Human Centipede 2. Yes, I'm talking about the sequel, not part 1, because as fucked up as part 1 is, it doesn't come close to Human Centipede 2, in my opinion, okay? Now, when I came into the Human Centipede series, I didn't know what to expect. I thought this was literally about a human centipede alien hybrid creature. Little did I know that this would be one of the most disturbing body horrors of all time, with one of the most depraved villains of all time, a German surgical specialist who decides he wants to create his ultimate design, because two girls are at his doorstep one day on a rainy day because they need a phone to contact people. And little do they know, they've walked into one of the most disgusting things ever. They become his personal pet project. But as bad as this is, y'all, it doesn't come close to what happens in the sequel. Because, yes, the idea of getting your mouth surgically attached to a person's ass is bad. But I'm gonna be real. This movie, it disturbed me, but it didn't make me question reality and existence itself. It didn't show me all of reality within one sequence. We got this shit. A movie about a mentally ill man. Let's just put it what it is. This guy's mentally ill, okay? This movie will show you human depravity at its lowest point. The only thing that comes close to this in terms of human depravity that I've seen in a film is 120 Days of Sodom. If you know, you know. That movie's fucked. And it's very real, too. The amount of shit that happens in the world that people don't know about. This is a representation of that. But, as bad as that is, nothing comes close to Human Centipede 2 in terms of pure disgusting shit. Like I said, we follow a mentally ill man who was molested as a child by his father, and his father was put in prison for it. He's blamed for it by his mother. His mother, who hates him for what happened to his father, emotionally abuses the shit out of him, and even tries to kill him in his sleep multiple times in the film. Bullies the shit out of him after finding his book with all of his sexual fantasies in it. This is not a good home to live in. On top of that, his psychiatrist, his therapist, wants to molest him. He wants to literally molest this young man. That's what we're dealing with here, y'all. That's the life of this man, the most pathetic life you could ever have. And he finds solace in a couple things. One being his pet centipede, the other being this book with all of his fantasies. And I just realized there is literally genitalia in this picture. I need to cut this. Editor, I need to remind you, because I'm going to get demonetized badly on YouTube if this isn't settled. And he has an obsession with the movie Human Centipede. See, this film, it's not like, oh, it's a sequel to... No. The first movie is a movie, a meta film within this film. And he watches it routinely, because he wants and desires this Human Centipede badly. He even jerks off to it, okay? To the point where he wants a centipede of his own. He wants his own design. His whole life, his whole existence is about creating this Human Centipede, not with just 3 people this time, but 12. You see, he creates a fake audition for a bunch of actresses, right? Brings them over, takes them to this warehouse place that he's rented out, and does what any person who's trying to create a Human Centipede does. Not only that, he literally finds and knocks out, concusses people in a parking garage with a crowbar or a wrench, I forgot which one it was. Badly beats them in the head, knocks them out, takes them in his car, drives them to the warehouse. And then he conducts one of the worst procedures of all time. Now, you see, the first one, the thing about the first movie and why it's not as disturbing to me is it was very surgical and precise. The villain in that is a surgical expert. He does this. He has medical experience. He uses all the right sedatives. He has the procedures locked in. This guy doesn't give a fuck about any of that. He's just a random dude who's mentally ill, trying to recreate and replicate this procedure with 12 people. So you can imagine how bad it gets. And the audience is forced to watch in painstaking detail as he develops his own surgical procedure. That being, okay, I'm gonna just mutilate the shit out of these people and connect them. We're starting by ripping out tongues, ripping out teeth, breaking teeth in with a hammer. We're literally going to cut the ACLs, the MCLs, all the CLs, and we're going to show the audiences as he cuts the tendons and breaks the freaking knees. Yeah. And then we get to the sequence. Now, I'm a real. When I saw this, I was like, holy fuck. This Nothing comes close to this, because when you realize what has just happened, you'll never be the same again. Some people might just gross out and just stop the movie at this point, if you haven't already. But you will never be the same again, okay? This scene changed me, y'all. Okay? See, he forces the centipede to shit. He forces everyone from the top down to shit. And guess what? The mouths are connected to the ass, so you know what's happening here. The shit is going to flow down the pipeline. And as it's happening, as you hear the sounds, the visceral sounds of the fecal matter, he starts farting continuously with his mouth, making farting noises. All that shit. So he can replicate it, so he can motivate them to shit more, I guess. This is the psychotic, crazy shit that we're dealing with in this film, okay? But as it happens, it culminates to the final point, the peak of the film, the pinnacle of the entire film, okay? He comes around back to the last, I can't even show it, y'all. He comes around back to the last person who shat, okay? And this is all mid-defecation, okay? This guy wants to fuck this human centipede. That is that's his fantasy. That's his entire existence has been leading to this point. So he goes to the back, decides, I have to do it. I have to. It's time. Pulls down his pants. And he, penetration occurs. And, he fucks the centipede mid-defecation, y'all. Mid-shit. Mid-shit. Now, nothing about this is clean. Like I said, this is not a surgical operation with expert procedures or research or none of that. He just brought people together, connected them brutally by mutilating them, and then had them all defecate and then penetrated the centipede. Because he really, that was his whole, that's his legacy. When I saw this, I was like, something's off here. Why would the directors do this? Why would they put us through this? Although, also, he killed his own mother, by the way, right before this. But that's not even, at this point, that is like the least bad thing that's done in this film, okay? Now, the film culminates in one of the victims escaping before dying herself by shoving a centipede up his ass with like this filtration thing, this filtration unit. He gets a centipede shoved up his ass. Now, he does end up killing her at the end of the day. Spoiler alert, should have said that, fuck. And the final shot of the film is, we're left with the question, is this even real? Did this even happen? Because the final shot is him watching the credits of the first Human Centipede movie, and the way it's connected and edited together, it makes the audience think, was this real? This is, in my opinion, this is a mind-bending, mind-breaking film, the likes of which Inception could never even surpass, because the shit that's done in this is beyond. This film is meant to critique the fine line between fiction and reality, and what happens when someone can't tell the difference, like the main character of this film. You see, he's obsessed with that first Human Centipede movie, and he wants to create it. He wants to fuck it. The scene where he penetrates the centipede exists to break any remaining trust between the viewer and the filmmaker. A deliberate assault on the viewer's expectations and moral lines. It's an assault on not only our senses and our soul, but it's an assault on our very constitution of being, okay? This is a meta-horror movie about obsession, the dangers of emulating violent media, and the dehumanizing nature of trauma. This is disturbing. It's sexual assault, mutilation, feces, fecal matter, all that shit. It's not used for entertainment, but as a deliberate boundary violation meant to shock, disturb, and criticize both the character and the audience's tolerance for violence, because the audience is left numb to some of the goriest shit in movies. But when they see this, like, oh my god, he's trying to push the boundaries. He's trying to break the frames of reality itself. So when I realized that's what this movie was doing, I was like, god damn, is anything real? Is anything real at this point? If someone can show audiences this, a man fucking a centipede, anything goes. Anything goes at that point. That's the reality we live in, y'all. That makes Human Centipede 2 one of the most disturbing films I've ever seen in my life. But my friend and I sat down and watched it, and we were laughing throughout most of it. But then when that scene occurred, I was like, holy god, man. What the hell is happening? So yeah, that scene changed my entire existence. In many ways, this scene made me what I am today. Cokehead. That's all I gotta say about that. But that's not even the most disturbing film I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. The most disturbing film I've ever seen in my life that doesn't need body horror at all to get its disturbingness across to the minds is a movie called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. If you want disturbing, this is disturbing. I made a whole video about it. You can watch it over here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a mission to take over Hollywood. But the army must keep growing. If you want to suggest video topics to me, or talk about your favorite movies or favorite film theories in a community with like-minded individuals, join the Zafy Discord now. Link is in the description and the comment section as well. Join us. This movement is just beginning. We're taking over Hollywood, one coke line at a time.